Woo! Midday Mayhem. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Bobby and Kurt, which one? Oh, ugh. Oh, you talk about Bobby Heat and Kurt Hennig. Oh, man. Two of the greatest, man. I put that picture up because, the 30th anniversary of the 92 Royal Rumble just passed. With a tear in my eye. See, I'm hoping Lovely comes over here because we're going to have a lovely good time. Okay? A lovely good time. Woo! See, I hate it when you have intelligent people being purposely disingenuous. For what? It goes back to you don't understand what happens when you're being deceitful to your own damn kids. See, nobody gives a fuck about what you're going through. Yeah, I'm probably not going to get monetized, so yeah, definitely. I'm going to have to get some cash apps. Mad cash apps. Hey, gas and cigars and liquor don't pay for themselves, so hey, if you got a problem with that, sorry. Support your interests. I'm I'm flustered. I am baffled. There's no fucking way you can legitimately tell me that and I'm listening in before I went live. I'm listening in. She didn't want to answer shit. Anytime you don't want to answer is because you know that motherfucker's telling the truth. Shout out to Roger. You knew it. See, I'm tired of this passive aggressive bullshit. Well, you gotta get the mother's DNA. The DNA test is not meant for the mother when you're trying to find out who is the father. Of course, you already got the mother's DNA. You're trying to figure out who's the fucking father. You cheat. If the child automatically came out of you, we're not questioning that. See, I'm getting sick and tired of this shit. If you really like your friends or you think you need somebody, share this motherfucker today. Because I'm gonna bring out some classics. I'm getting sick and tired of all these men and women what are talking about accountability. You got Derek Jackson praising a simp for a $20,000 trip for a woman that's not his girlfriend or his wife, but condemning the man whose wife gives him her check and manages the bills and put the rest of the money into the stock market. Those who are for you, excuse me, let me say it correctly. Those who fight you are not always your enemy, and those who are for you are not always your friend. That was the stupidity that she tried to bring on the Roger report. Trying to test it. And shout out to D. Scott for the $5 super chat. Woo! Yeah, he said, let it fly. See, it comes down into being disingenuous. This is the fucking shit that kills me every fucking time. Every time. You out here spreading these fucking rumors and these fucked up lies. That is not fucking fair. It's not fucking fair. See, women don't understand the pressures that you get when you gotta go to fucking child custody, child support, divorce court, because it's in their fucking favor. 9 times out of 10, she's not gonna come here. Most of them take laundries. A lot of them speak nonsense. Okay? Like I told y'all last night, I had a chick who's a firefighter paramedic tell me that police officers and law enforcement are not first responders. When it says it in the definition. Like I said before, you Shondas, you Toyas, you Kareem, you Asada Muhammad's, fitness moms, you are a breath of fresh air. These other women are not, they're not making you look good. They're not good representatives of black femininity. I hate to say it, but it's true. I hate to say it. I hate to say it. You're going around and we keep on getting into these fucking questions, these fucking subjects. I know I'm cursing a lot, so what? But it just pisses me off completely. Completely. It's not even funny, yo. And these are women with male sons, with male children. You have sons. God only knows what the hell she's telling the sons. If a chick runs up and say, "Hey, that's your baby," well, you need to take care of it. You don't need to go to paternity testing. See, a lot of people will say what you want to hear in your face or when they're on these lines. But they don't want to tell the truth. I want to see if Lady comes up here. It never affects anybody till it affects them. They didn't give a damn if men were dying of COVID, so they couldn't get fucking shit from COVID. They didn't give a damn about men being homeless till the women were facing homelessness. Nobody gives a damn. It's shameful, man. And we constantly have people out here spreading these rumors, spreading this goddamn gossip. For what? What is it going to gain you? Where is she? I'm waiting. And see, this is that phony bullshit that we always get hit with. Well, it's not my fault. We gotta be forgiving. You grew up a single mother. Like, we're supposed to feel sorry for you. What's up, Jim Jones? I'm John Jones.
Oh fuck me, what's up?
What's up?
Man, you ain't never add me back on Instagram, man.
Oh shit! Send me a message and I'll add you back.
Uh, yeah, I will. I'm calling, checking in. I'm at work on break. Uh, I saw your video pop up or whatever. What's going on?
Well, I'm supposed to do the have this lady from the Raj Report have a conversation when she's talking about accountability and parental responsibilities of men and women, and I'm
Okay.
still waiting for her.
Oh, they coming up.
Supposedly,
Okay, cool. I'm
allegedly,
just
you know.
I'll just
I'm,
sit back and listen to the elders speak and stuff like that.
I'm just waiting because, man, I'm tickled by a 47-year-old woman. There's certain shit you can't pull over the eyes of most people. We see your bullshit.
Well,
We see your bullshit. And frankly, each and every time they do this shit,
uh, Officer
it's.
Faulkner, are you far from your mic or my
Can you hear me?
headphones cut?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, that's a little better.
And it's like every time they come up on these shows, there's some evidence being shown. There's evidence. Well, no, we just being hard on these women. No, you're not. No, you're not. It's the fact of the matter when you hold a person accountable. See, men don't have a problem being held accountable because the world will do it anyway. You're either going to be shamed or you're going to be made to pay a lot of money or you're going to be jailed or killed.
Hmm.
So, when women try to say we got it hard too, no, you don't. How many men or women, how many men can say I don't want to have any kids, or be forced into the situation regardless of it? What's up, AB?
Hey, what's going on, Charles? I
Would you?
Hello,
caught.
baby. How you feeling?
I'm doing all right. I caught the tail end of it. Let me get this straight. She's claiming that you can get the what did she say? It was something weird and stupid.
It was basically like the parental test. You need the women there. You need the woman there as well. Not when you're trying to figure out who's the father of the kid. You already know who the
Why
mother
would you need a
is.
woman to figure out who the father of the kid is?
You already know who the mother is. It's like
Oh
God
dear.
damn. Like
Yeah, that's that intersectional bull crap.
we're not equal. That's the worst fucking thing that came out with this shit is telling us that we're equal. It's funny. All this equality shit, we sure don't pay the same amount of fucking bullshit, do we?
Yeah.
You gotta put quotation marks around equality.
No, it's equity. They want equal outcomes. Men know there aren't equal outcomes. There's a reason why we love sports teams so much.
Yep.
Because there are no equal outcomes. There are no equal outcomes for men. All men are not created equal, sorry. When does that ever happen?
Never.
So
Never in history.
so I wonder why we're concerned about having men put themselves out there for a bunch of ungrateful heifers. Why? What is it gonna be? What is it gonna be to a woman who doesn't understand authority? What is it to
Hmm.
her? She's not gonna be the one who's got to pay the tab for that kid. She could go to the courts legally and say, "I can't take care of this kid by myself."
Yeah, she's the one that can leave him off on the fire truck stop, or leave him in the hospital. We can't do that.
Nope. How come we can't abandon a kid at a firehouse or a police station? How come we can't do that? Since we're all equal. We're all so equal, correct?
You a deadbeat father. How
What
we don't tell that to the mothers? There's plenty of deadbeat mothers out here.
Oh yeah, most of them are. Most mothers are deadbeat. I hate to say it, but when you really look at it, most of them are deadbeat.
Yep, I don't want to say it, but it's starting to show with the girls now that you ain't teaching half these girls how to clean themselves. What's wrong with you?
You're not teaching them to clean themselves. You're not teaching them etiquette.
Teaching them how to sit like ladies.
Nope. A lady? What the fuck is that? You know, they got a song. What the fuck is that? Boom, 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 boom. The fuck is that? Shout out to Lionel Player One. This is a result of what happens when you get rid of Ike Turner in the household. That's a
What
good
was that
one.
old saying? Turner.
Turner! Like, see, you didn't even have to put your hands on a woman because you could outsmart them. See, when
Pretty
you
much.
control the finances, you can control her. See, this is the issue. Once you control the finances, you're in control of the family. See, when they allow those chicks to get their own jobs,
Mm-hmm.
to get their own property, this is what happens. This is what the fuck happens.
Yeah, the statistics show that women are the most miserable they've ever been in history.
But they look down upon their own grandmothers. That's the fucked up part about it.
You know what I think is so funny about that though, Charles? They look down on their own grandmothers, but their own grandmothers actually have more power than they do.
Yeah. And their old grandmothers actually had a man. Oh! Women have sucked so badly that nowadays, as a millennial, and as soon as the alphas and the Z's, you may have just stopped the lineage of your family.
Mm-hmm.
You may have stopped the lineage of your family. Anytime men, especially when they're young, love pussy so much that, but now you made it so bad that men are just like, fuck this. What does that say about you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she probably ain't coming up.
Y'all know she ain't coming. I just caught the tail end of Roger Report and jumped on there because I see my boy Charles was handling up. And I wanted to jump up in there. And she was still deflecting me. And Roger, but you got to go. You got to go.
And to answer your question, last Zulu, he said, "What's up, Charles? I thought about joining the army. I have a bachelor's degree in computer science. Would that be good for me?" 2 words: fuck and yeah. Where do you think AI is going first?
Yep.
It's going. You got a computer programmer up here right now with AB. Where the fuck you think they going with the technology first? In the military. In the military. You could go to Air Force, Army. You could build some of the super soldier suits. There's a lot of technology that's being brought out now due to it. Become an officer. Go get that rank, boy, and go get that experience. See, officers, depending on the MOS, the officers can be blue collar. I mean, white collar or blue collar. If they're infantry or special forces, I mean, you gotta think about it. If you're enlisted and you work in the office, you're white collar than a motherfucker. So it's not because of rank you're white collar, blue collar. Oftentimes it's misconstrued.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, computer science. Good God, if you don't join the military now, nigga, swear to God, man. Do you have a bachelor's or do you have extra credits? How close are you to a master's? Shout out to KP. My son's going to the Air Force. Huh? Cybersecurity. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, I'm on my way to graduate school right now.
Oh shit, fuck all y'all. I gotta start school the 31st for paramedic. But good shit. Good shit. I like hearing shit like this. Got two. How many times? I want somebody to put this in the chat for me, because brother playing Call of Duty right now. Midday Madness. You gotta blame Josh and Chad for this shit. They gotta be hooked to this shit again. Trust me, Madden still takes priority though. I want somebody to write this in the chat. Black men, we are leaving too much money on the table when it comes to the military. When it comes to educational benefits of the military, because I'm going back to school and I ain't paying shit because of the military. How many people could say that?
How many people in the military?
So, my VA benefits, I want you to share the shame. I told my 14-year-old son, yeah, you're going to do at least about 2 to 4 years in the military. If you're smart, go to National Guard so you can go to school while you're in. Get the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the phone with ESI last night. There are so many things in executive protection and defensive marksman that I'm going to go into, and they're going to help me get it through the VA. Think about that. You could become a counter sniper, and the VA will pay for it. And that pays a lot of money. Currently, 5 years removed from my MS in STEM. Been fully employed, making progress. Fuck yeah. That's what we see. See, shout out to Art, New Style TV. I don't know if you're at school right now, but I think I'm cursing too much for your students to listen, but but I'm gonna try to be articulate if they are. This is the reason why, since we're not gonna, I wish I could change it real quick. I probably can change it, but since she's not coming up, I'm gonna do part 1 and part 2 because I notice a lot of people like it when I'm on later. But we're gonna talk about this one thing. Is military service good for black boys? Notice there's only 2 places. I think I'm the only place that actually speaks of that. There are too many men who've changed their lives around because of military service. I remember Brock Lesnar, who did about a year or 2 in the National Guard. He said, I thought I was the baddest motherfucker on earth till I met that drill sergeant who wore my ass out.
Ooh, even Brock Lesnar said that? Ooh.
Yeah.
South Dakota. We're talking about it in Webster. He was born in Webster, so he went to the South Dakota National Guard.
Yep, he said that drill sergeant put foot in his ass and straightened him out. That's a bad motherfucker if you putting foot in the Brock Lesnar's ass.
Yeah.
He was already 6'3" by then.
He was like 6'4" by then.
No, he was 6'3". He's actually had his 6'3". He's at 280.
A big boy.
Big guy.
Corn-fed motherfucker.
He was born and raised. He was raised on a dairy farm.
Yeah, that's why
this guy loves to hunt.
Too.
Shout out to KP again. Charles, talk about the VA housing and medical. Oh, yes, we should, because guess what? The VA right now, because I'm in the rapid vocational program, the VA is basically paying my school full out and my mortgage or rent.
Charles, can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Do you as much as the VA is doing for all you guys, do you think that the VA should be doing more as well in certain aspects?
In the words of Lincoln, you're always indebted to your veterans.
Absolutely.
You're indebted to those goddamn veterans.
Especially in the words of Mr. Z, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer.
There should be no homeless veterans, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Yeah, right there. I was about to go there. There should be
no fucking homeless veterans. That should not even exist. It shouldn't even be an oxymoron.
Not to mention how many And plus, a shout out to BGS because I remember he used to always talk about this gentleman, a veteran himself, Craig B. Hewitt.
Hmm.
Hewitt talked about how, you're starting to see, especially in this past decade, how many veterans who've been getting a less than honorable discharge due to the fact of a PTSD diagnosis. Some would have to try to withhold that diagnosis until after they're discharged, because they know if they get less than honorable, they won't be eligible
For work.
for certain VA veterans and shit.
Not only VA, but they'll. It's basically like almost. It's worse than having a felony on your.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I mean, shit.
They're a lot better. They're a lot better with it now.
More dead than alive.
They're a lot better now. I remember reading IFS report and being.
I apologize for being a downer, but I'm not trying to be disrespectful. We got to have that. I'm an outsider now, but
Virtues. It's sad that a lot of veterans see. A lot of times, my son knows he will get VA housing, and they don't have to pay, down payments. Oh yeah, they'll see. VA housing is like a guaranteed stamp of approval from the government. And the best thing about it is when that VA representative inspects that house, you're not getting a bullshit house. My father, when he was about 59 or 60, bought his house out there in Baltimore County, right off of Old Court, Milford Mill area. Beautiful house.
Shout out to the Colonel.
Nice cul-de-sac. He bought it for 180 something, and right now it's worth like 260 and growing. So the equity on your house will grow exponentially. Okay.
How much has he improved of that house? Because I know your dad's business is like restorations and shit, right?
Some great shit.
The contractor. Yeah.
He's the great shit. And then he said, "Shit, I'm not doing anything." He said, "I'll die in this damn house." And
remind me to come down to Baltimore and have him cuss me the fuck out. I will go home to visit my dad, but my dad can't do it because
Oh, don't worry, he has no problem cussing you out. And it's funny because you got places like AARP. You got AARP, which is veteran exclusive. You can't join unless you're the kids or the actual veteran yourself or the spouse. There's so many benefits. Like even when it comes to job preference, we are leaving a lot of money on the goddamn table. Yep, minimal credit score. 0 down payments. The training itself. Do you know you get college credit because of certain courses you take? I always say, if you're going to be a medic, go get your paramedic. While you're in there, just go take classes for your paramedic. It's basically you have a 2-year degree. Let me see. Hopefully they have my order for my transcripts from the academy, because they're saying now that it's 32 credits alone from the academy, which is basically more than half of an associate's, not including all the other college credit I have. I don't know why we allow such gynocentric speak and opinions to flood our community. And nothing wrong with women, but I'm just saying, when you growing boys, you want to grow them men's. You want to grow them big and strongs.
Excuse me, Charles. Shameless plug here. But if we're going to encourage some of these kids to go into STEM, if you see my avatar right there, there's an alternative for them.
Army Corps of Engineers.
Goddamn right.
Army Corps of Engineers. Gotta love it. And I'm gonna tell you, man.
And they're entitled to some of those VA benefits as well, because they also serve. Despite being civilians, they are like the foreign, and not to mention how many foreigners are in this corps as well.
Oh yeah, because that
and one of them.
That is I had an ex-girlfriend who used to work up there, the Army Corps of
Uh,
Engineers in Baltimore. Um, she would later go to the Coast Guard, which is funny. But
well, Coast Guard needs engineers for
well,
certain
Coast
things.
Guard,
You never know.
Coast Guard has the best snipers on Earth, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true. I've seen some of that shit. I've seen sniper schools class videos on Discovery Channel and shit. So yeah, y'all don't fuck around.
Shout out to the lovely Kareem, not Karen. Grrr. Hold on. Grrr. Charles, are you still doing your birthday party where you invite all your subscribers?
The C-19 the C-19 is
Oh,
endemic right now.
shameless plug. Thank you for reminding me. I'll be doing that next week.
Happy birthday.
Shout out to them dogging.
On Tuesday. That's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Hey, happy 39 is gonna be
Which,
39 for you, right?
Yep, one more year and 30.
oh, yeah, that's. Fuck you. But
40.
Well, you ain't 40
Hey,
yet, Charles.
B.
Come on.
God bless you that you ain't
well,
shit. God
like,
bless
put it
you
to you
ain't
this
shit.
way. This is how old I am. 40's in the vestibule. Taking off his jacket.
Yeah.
Like, he's already in the house, so I've already came to accept that. Oh yeah, don't worry, Kareem. I'ma come down. What hotel suite you want? You want the Hilton or the Hyatt?
Can't be
Oh
the Four
yeah,
Seasons.
you better
Or
come
they
down
did that
there.
fucked up.
Depends.
Hmm.
I'm gonna actually do a meet and greet for all my nerds out there, veterans at BlurredCon, since it's a black anime and comic book and black nerd festival. So I'll do a meet and greet up there.
Is that gonna be Virginia? You think?
That's
Or
gonna
will
be in
they-
Virginia. That's Virginia.
Okay.
Nice
I know
rooms.
VA.
Book your rooms. We'll do a meet and greet. Come tell me like, hey, give me one of my catchphrases. For some reason, Leon is always obsessed about number one. He says every time Charles get pissed off, he starts off with number one or woo. For everybody that says woo or number one or any of my catchphrases, I'll get a whole plastic bunch of cups and I'll pour them a drink. Oh,
Well,
shit.
for all time's sake, I must say.
It's gonna be at
Ooh, yeah. Uh-huh.
It's gonna be at let me see with Virginia because we're gonna look up BlurredCon real quick. BlurredCon 2020 dates,
Oh, shouts
2022
out to
dates. It's
Buffalo,
gonna be
Michigan.
July. It's gonna be July 8th through the 10th, and it's gonna be located the Hyatt Regency Crystal City at Reagan National Airport, Arlington, Virginia.
What, your
Alright.
birthday party?
Huh? No, the
No,
BlurredCon
BlurredCon.
in the summer. Birthday
Bird-
party.
okay.
Birthday party. I'm trying to see if I get this nice place my older cousin had. Oh man,
Well,
one
I tell
thing
you
about
one thing for certain, two things for sure. If you having your birthday party, you better have on that goddamn same suit that your boy be showing when you come on his show. You already know what I'm talking about, and I ain't playing with you.
oh yeah, I'm aware of the Whispers one. The one where I just be, you gonna keep on loving me.
Excuse me, Charles.
Yes,
Charles,
sir.
could you put up Mr. Donnie Mac's last whatchamacallit, comment? Most of the international classmates in grad school went to the Corps of Engineers. Exactly.
Yep.
And I myself happen to be the son of one.
Hey, and you better come down for my birthday and BlurredCon Green.
Mhm.
And you better bring some jerk chicken down too. God damn it. I don't know about
Also
oxtail. Never had
oxtail.
oxtail. Never had oxtail, so I don't know. Yeah, that's
And maybe
backyard,
Jamaican
man.
patty.
I told you, that's backyard. That's probably like, what, 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes at the most for you, Dr. Dunbar? A.K.A. He's Tiger, I'm Panther.
Dr.
So,
Good
yeah.
Bar.
Got the good ball.
You mean Dr. Goodball? Dr. Goodball.
He's like, he talked to, one time we were at the cigar shop and he introduced himself to some fine ladies, and and they said, what's your name? My name's IBMOR. Dr. Goodball if you're nasty. Oh yeah. Oh, trust me.
Oh, wait. He said, say it again. What did he say?
He introduced himself to a nice, pretty lady, and she said, "What's your name?" "I'm Anwar." "Dr. Goodbar if you're nasty."
Hey Doc, I got a question for you. How big of a mark were you for Janet?
Everybody loved
You know
Janet
where
back
that
then.
quote came from. That's why I'm asking.
Everybody loved Janet, but especially back then. Control.
Wait. No, not Janet. It's Ms. Jackson.
Miss Jackson.
We're not gonna
I
talk
can only
about
say
that
that.
hypocrite shit right now. She the reason why we doing all this fighting going on with these women. That's about what have you done for me lately?
What
Don't
have
get me
you done
wrong.
for me
I like Janet
lately?
just like the next dude. But when she came up with that song, I had to start boycotting. I just had to.
I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm
It's
just
funny how
that.
you. It's funny when you see our favorite mother trucker get riled up like this. But
It's
I
funny.
understand. I understand, AO. I understand.
See,
It's
it
funny
ain't
as
her
shit.
beauty, it's just her booty that had all the boys mesmerized. But if you would have listened to the words that was coming up out of her mouth, you wouldn't have been supporting her. We was only supporting her because that was Michael's little sister, and she was pretty, and she was cute, and she was fine. But
Oh
other than
yeah.
that, well, she was spewing that straight democracy bullshit.
Okay,
I'm trying to tell you.
we're gonna do two meet and greets. One for BlurCon and one for the birthday. Meet and greet. Okay, we're gonna do two meet and greets. Since you're trying to. So we're gonna do two. Okay. Okay.
And the fucked up part is AL's on the money right there.
There's a reason why she said control. You never wanna stop.
Well, my
Shit.
favorite song was "Come Back" and "If." That's the way love goes. That was pretty popular.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the way love
But
goes.
when I was like 15, 16, "Go Deep" was my jam.
I wonder why.
Hmm.
Wait, oh shit! I'm starting to sound like PK all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Well, I do have vitiligo, so but that doesn't count.
Well, he's half and
I'm
half
not.
natural. He's half and half genetically, so hey, it works.
Did that boy say he got reverse vitiligo?
Oh my god.
No, I got actual vitiligo,
So no wonder you like the
and for
Michael
some
Jackson song.
reason, I've been here for so long. I'm starting to sound like a white dude, and it's starting to scare the hell out of me.
How's your credit?
Still in the shits, but it's all right.
Okay, you still black.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
You still
Of course,
black.
they have a
Carter.
hard time with me because the last my middle name and everything is all funny and whatnot to them. They're like, "What the hell is this? What kind of name is this?" I'm like, "Yeah,
Oh,
I'm East African." Oh, okay. See,
as we say, oh, you one of the Wakanda niggas.
that too.
You
Oh,
like,
you're one of them Wakanda. Well, the funny thing was, if you guys ever, and this is why I like studying African cultures every now and then, because when I was watching the Black Panther movie, like what they have for the script for for Wakandan,
hmm
that was a cross between ancient Giz or Sabian, as well as this language called Tamazight, which is the writing system of the people known as the Berber. Oh, that's what everybody else calls them. Yeah, there was Nubian. There was also people dressed like the Maasai warriors and whatnot, the ones in red and everything.
hmm
They were taking a little bit of everything and just showed, black celebration. Oh,
hmm
by the way, Kareem, one question. $4.99? Not a full $5, not a full Lincoln? What is it? What is it? Discounted shit? Everything always got to be this 99, this 99. Man, marketing is such a powerful psychological ploy, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Everything's always something 99 or something 49. We can't have a complete round number.
No. No.
Always a Lincoln short of a Lincoln. I mean, a penny short of a 5 right there. Take that with a grain of salt and a dash of pepper.
Sharon Brown, gotta love it.
What you playing the Nintendo?
No, that was what song is this? Specialize in Love.
Bro.
Whatever happened to women saying that shit to you? Good God.
I'll give you another song that's better. I'll give you another song that's better. SOS, Just Be Good to Me.
I don't care about the other girls. Just be good to me.
Shouts out to the memory Patrice, because he talked about he insisted on playing the 12-inch. You don't get the full story, the full
so did
concept
she.
of the movie. No. You need the full 12. Just make sure you wrap it up, motherfucker.
Yeah, what a trash bag? What a garbage bag?
Off the fucking, we need to link up at the cigar lounge right around the corner from our house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm on Parkville.
Okay, so you over there about what, Fire and Smoke?
Yeah, I'm over there by the Smokos and all that.
Oh yeah, I frequent that one a lot.
Yeah.
You know, that's where myself and I took Cousin T-Tot, Dr. Dunbar comes out there. Yeah, it's a good, nice. That's gonna be our next meet and greet. This is like the cigar lounge. People be like, "Man, I can't believe you an actual police officer. You make police officers look so cool." I said, "Yeah, you know, they're gonna start calling police officers Charles Faulkner when I'm through with them."
Yeah, well, I'm about to tap out. I'm gonna holler at y'all. I'm gonna listen to some playback.
Okay, cool. You be safe, man.
You too. Peace.
Holla. Hey, Charles, Charles, anybody ever tell you look like a cross between Shaft and Action Jackson?
I wish. Like, you know what?
Carl
I like
Weathers
to look
meets
I like to
Richard
look like
Roundtree.
Carl Weathers. Like, God damn. You know, it's funny because if you saw my dad's old pictures back in the day, like he would just have all his 70s shit all looking sharp as a motherfucker.
How big was his fro? Oh, he couldn't have a fro.
Oh, it was a medium fro.
Sideburns?
He had his fro later on.
How big was his burns? The sideburns.
Pork choppish.
Oh, okay. He
Yeah,
could,
my father had a
too
pro
small
and
for
a
the.
Jerry curl.
Alright. Oh, no. He never did the Jerry curl.
No. Hey, B, did your dad ever have the Jerry curl?
Yep.
Yeah. My pops, he had, like a lot of his generation, he had the fro.
He had a pro
Always
too.
had the fro, maintained a fro, but by the 80s, his fro was like similar to like Lionel Richie's. He even had he had the bit of a handlebar mustache at one point. I mean, there's a picture my brother has of him back in the day with it was like when my brother was like toddler. Good looking dude. It wasn't good. It was, you know, all 6'1".
All 6'1", huh?
Yeah, he was 6'1". Still is.
God damn.
One of the toughest men I ever knew. Always will know.
Like,
Second to my great grandfather.
he ate shoe leather, and he made it taste good.
No, my great grandfather was a war veteran himself.
That's how tough he was.
Ah, man.
What war did he fight in?
About him. My great grandfather, 1930s. It was the Libyan uprising.
Ooh.
This is when they had, this is back when they were Eritrea. So this is when we were still an Italian colony. Thousands of Eritrean men were forcibly conscripted by the Italians to fight in Libya to crush the Libyan uprising led by Omar al-Mukhtar. You ever seen the movie Lion of the Desert starring Anthony Quinn?
No.
You gotta see that movie. It's about that uprising itself. Man, those dudes were like used like they said that in that movie you see like how living fighters fought. Like they would tie their legs down to the ground because they thought it was. They said they'd rather die than to retreat.
Mm. Yeah, we're gonna get Nino to the meet and greet. I love that piano griff. Somebody help, cause I can't find my way. Somebody move. Don't worry, I gotta bring back my DJ Law and Order. Just play an hour, 2 hours of music. I don't give a shit. Like, just make sure you donate to the Cash App if we do it at DJ Law and Order. Shit, I can't let them have all the money. It's
What
just
about
fun.
the radio?
Oh yeah,
The radio show.
The radio show is pretty cool. Pretty crazy topics. You know, I'm thinking about what we're gonna talk about Monday. Because we
Yeah,
talked
you
about
Merseyside motherfucker, you.
the Mercy.
No. You were at Liverpool. That Liverpool shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they call it Merseyside. I mean, like a.
Oh, people love that Liverpool shit. So you probably like.
I don't. Not really.
What's your team?
Manchester United. They're not. They're rivals up north.
Oh yeah. Oh god damn. Speaking of rivals, god damn you Call of Duty.
Oh, well, speaking of Call of Duty, you heard about what happened to Blizzard Activision? They got
Microsoft
purchased by Microsoft.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. The Microsoft thing. Oh man.
$70 billion.
Think about that. For us PlayStation fans, a lot of them are bugging out because Microsoft owns Crash. Crash Bandicoot was pretty much the mascot of PlayStation.
Yes, the first PlayStation. Yes.
And Spyro. Those franchises. And what else? They also own the World of Warcraft, Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm. Diablo.
But the thing is, yeah,
Tony
Diablo
Hawk.
especially, Tony Hawk. But the question is, what's his name? The CEO of Blizzard Activision.
Yeah, he's supposed to be stepping down.
He'll be stepping down next year. But the thing is, he's leaving with a golden parachute. In the
Of
midst
course.
of the bullshit that's been going on in Blizzard Activision this past few years, like they talked about an unsafe working environment and shit.
The nerds are
Although,
Name her. Come on.
Yeah.
They gave Carly Fiorina a golden parachute.
mhm.
What part of this supposed? Is she almost ran HP into the ground?
I'm not surprised. What was it they said on the Daily Show back when Jon Stewart was on it, and they had Stephen Colbert, and he said when they talked about how people who complete incompetent in the Bush administration kept seeing themselves being promoted, he said it doesn't take failure to get ahead; it takes colossal failure.
Yeah, we call that in the police department. You'll make a great sergeant or lieutenant.
Well, if it's any consolation, that's how I feel about Democratic strategists. Take colossal failures for them to get ahead. Most of them
They're
should
willing to
have been
cutthroat each other. I mean, it's so cutthroat. You can't even. It's so
There's
cutthroat.
nothing-
What's his face? He's got to re-update the book of 48 laws of power and the 32 strategies of war and shit.
It's shameful because what's fucked up is this, and I'll talk about that, and it goes right back into military strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Black people have too much of an issue when it comes to morality.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when I talked to Jessica X that time, whatever's moral doesn't mean it's every. Guess what? Morality and legality do not always coexist.
Nope.
Because people forget it was legal to do what?
I was slave.
Where's your moral argument? You take your moral argument out of it when it becomes what? Normality. So when you actually, so when you actually look at this from a militaristic standpoint, why is the black community in such shambles? Because we don't have anybody who's ruthless enough to take over this shit. You want respect? You got to learn to be ruthless. What type of ruthless? I'm not afraid to steal from my fucking kid if he needs to eat. Too many people don't believe in that shit. So I don't even know what we're gonna do as a people if we don't join the military or get into the science. Because the military is always gonna be the leading force when it comes to STEM. It has been. Now that, especially now since we got what's called a space force. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all don't hear me though. Officer Fault have been talking. How long have I been saying this shit? Get your kids in the military.
Far too goddamn long. And I realize, gotta be careful who I talk to when it comes to this shit. Some people still a little sensitive about certain things, and I don't blame them.
They have the Space Force. They have the Space Force criteria up now. You must be 17 to 39 of years of age to join, with a high school diploma or a GED with 15 college credits.
Hmm.
You could go they're recruiting heavy for Space Force. Basic salary, food and housing, retirement. Y'all need to get on the good foot.
Insurance, other family
Shout out to
benefits.
shout out to Ian Williams for the cash up support. Woo!
How much we talking here?
We got a little bit. Get some Subway food, Get some good food out there.
Mm-hmm. So, boy, you
Yeah,
fresh.
well, the accountant in me just comes out when I see these numbers. I'm like, eh. Is it just enough for the budget?
This is
Somebody's
what
got
you
to
can
look at the
do
books here, motherfucker.
this is just enlisted, man, for the Space Force. Cable antenna systems, client systems, computer system programming, cyber security, cyber system operations, cyber
Oh, right there.
transport systems.
Cybersecurity right there.
Excuse me, fusion analysts, intelligent analysts, knowledge operations management, radio frequency
I
transmission
see.
systems, signal intelligence analyst, space system operator, targeting analysis. Now for the officer corps: acquisition manager, cyber warfare operations officer, cyber space operations officer, development engineer, intelligence officer, space operations officer, civilian side, Space Force civilian careers. What if, what if we actually, well, see, I would technically be too old to join the Space Force, but I would get a waiver because I'm a vet. And
What's the budget? I wonder for this whole space force.
Space Force
How
is
much of
probably
it
going to be,
national?
it's probably going to be the hugest budget out of all the military services because guess what? You're going to have to maintain the space.
Not to mention, cybersecurity being what it is.
And
Cybersecurity demand
remember,
is going to be it. Cyber
space
warfare.
space is not going to just be outer space. They're talking about cyberspace as well.
Mhm.
Mm.
So
I mean,
how many of you guys got computer programming degrees and certifications? How many of you guys are STEM majors? I keep telling you.
software engineers. You're going to need people who are. If Mike V was here, he could break it down for a lot of people because this is his wheelhouse.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Shouts out to Boston.
Boston.
No, black folks, they don't say like they say Boston.
No, I know.
Patrice was from Boston, remember?
I know. But every time I heard somebody from my
Roxbury
job,
area.
it's not Boston, it's Boston. Like they all sound like
Boston,
Kennedy to me.
especially if you're a Saudi.
Mm-hmm.
Where you from? From Boston. Or if
Boston,
you're from, or you're from
Dorchester,
or you're from Jersey.
Jersey.
Because if you complain in the way Baltimoreans say to, do, view, and sue, listen to somebody from Atlantic City. Mm. To, do, view. And
What does that
yes, I
say
can
about a
say,
man who is as
yes, I can,
articulate as
and
King Kong
yes,
Bundy?
yes, I can actually say the words Aaron, iron, and what's the other one? Um, Aaron, iron, and I forget the other last word they pronounce. Because
Irony?
some people, no, it's Aaron, iron, and something else that most people have trouble pronouncing in Baltimore. He said I wanted to be a pilot, be tech fighter. Well, I'm pretty sure they're gonna have like Gundam wings and shit like that. Don't worry. Hold on. You and AB hold the fort down. I'll be right back.
Mhm.
Mm, cool.
I'm sure you heard it. They couldn't get voting rights passed. I guess we're all in trouble now. Whatever.
Speaking of voting rights, anytime I hear people, whenever I hear debates about, preventing voter fraud, they're going to try to sidestep and tap dance around the issue of voter suppression
Mm-hmm.
because they're two sides of the same coin when you think about it.
Here's my take on it, though. They're only
Well,
they're only delaying the inevitable. The Republicans can't hide from the black vote forever.
they've been
So
gerrymandering for years. Both sides have been gerrymandering for years. Let's not forget that.
yeah,
We're holding everybody accountable here.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. They're only delaying the inevitable. So stop playing around and submit. You're gonna have to submit sooner or later. You're not gonna get around it. You're losing too many people. We don't talk. We don't want us to start talking about the methadone clinics and your suicide rate, do you? I'm just saying.
Methadone. Oh, methadone. And they're gonna be
I've
surprised.
seen the methadone. I've seen their methadone clinics. They do not need to be talking about black folk doing drugs.
And the funny thing is, the more effective treatment they could find in West Africa, but they don't want to mess with that shit because the big pharma.
Yep, they rather be hooked to a big pharma, sell them their uh, destruction.
I mean, look at
And
the FDA as a whole. What do you think? I mean,
yep, I always wondered. My father used to admit, it's like they couldn't cure the common cold. I was like, "What is he talking about?" I was like, "Oh, shit. This that how I got older." I'm like, "Oh shit, he wasn't lying."
you ever realize, like, when you think about some of the shit your father said was trying to tell you in the past, you realize, oh shit, he was right.
Yep,
Yeah,
a lot of stuff he said. I was like, "Oh shit, he wasn't kidding."
my dad, hell no, he was not fucking around.
He once said, and I still believe this is true. They've stole so much money from people they could afford to pay everybody $2,000 for the rest of their lives, a month for the rest of their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Probably more than that now.
It's 2000 enough for everybody's the question. The average person.
Well, with the Great Reset, I guess we're about to find out.
Could be more. I mean, like the whole 15 bucks an hour minimum wage stuff. They didn't come around to it until it was no longer viable. I'm like,
Oh yeah, there it is. I'm back. Yep, you're right. It's Aaron earned and iron
iron.
and earn. Like
That's funny because,
Most Baltimoreans are gonna pronounce it earn. And it's funny because one of my best friends is named Aaron. So,
Hmm.
I got two cousins by that name. Of course, one of them he uses a Jewish spelling just to
what the
distinguish himself.
what is the Jewish spelling of Aaron?
Ahron. Aharon,
Hmm.
to say. Of course, in Islam, the Muslim version is Harun. Of course, where I'm from, we say Aaron. That's kind of funny. Although my father was pretty much Americanized by his English, he still had trouble pronouncing certain words because he still sound like your typical Eritrean Ethiopian. Like he'll say iron, like iron. Instead of saying tired, he'll say tired. But that was a normal there, so I was used to a lot of that.
Yep.
What else?
Yeah, my father, he spoke in the Eritrean tongue too, because he was really trying to cuss you out. What's up, Toya? Ow, girl. Got my pretty girls up here. With you and Kareem. Kyle. I'm missing one more of my Charlie's Angels. Missing my Charlie's Angels. How you doing today, spell check,
Quad the
brother?
abstract. Yeah. Charles, put up what Quad J the abstract put up.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Oh, nice locks, man. By the way, Aaron earned an iron urn.
Hmm.
Did he get it from Paul Bearer by any chance?
Possibly.
And was it on a big discount by any chance?
Possibly.
Iron urns, everyone! Iron urns for sale! Oh yes, big discount!
Oh my god. Jesus.
He got the best shoot interviews too.
What's up, Dior? Oh shoot, look at this.
What was that, AB?
He has the best shoot interviews too.
Yeah.
Percy Pringle? Hell yeah.
Besides Kevin Nash.
Yeah, that's true.
You ever listen to like Scott Steiner's shoot interviews?
Nah.
Pretty calm in those interviews.
You gotta think he's not truly his character, so
Yeah.
yeah.
No, he's pretty down to earth. Yeah, but both Steiners are pretty down to earth. I mean, especially like right now, they're riding high because
Mm-hmm.
Rick's son's right now
NXT champs.
the NXT champ, Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
When's he gonna get rid of the
Oh,
Breaker
that's
name?
Rick
And
Stein?
start...
Okay.
Yeah, that's Rick Steiner, his youngest,
That's
Braun.
Rick
He's a running back for Kennesaw State and was drafted by the Ravens.
He was a Raven for a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Bronson Rick Steiner.
Yeah,
He's
Raven
got
does.
he looks kind of more like his uncle Scotty. He's got that look in his eyes, like uncle like Scott.
Like Scott. Well, you gotta think about it. Like, there are some when you have kids, you'll see some of the genetics rub off from your brother or sister into your kid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'll notice, like my son, he has certain characteristics my brother has.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's definitely 100% my son, but he has those characteristics because remember, you all come from the same gene pool.
Yeah. Certain genes that. Oh, go ahead.
Look at Dusty and Dustin. They look like each other.
Or Cody.
Look at Cody. Cody looks like Dustin. I mean, they don't even have the same mom.
Yeah.
It's all their brothers.
What about the Funks?
Oh, the Funks look like they
Came out of the trailer park.
And shout out to anybody. I'm going to promote this. ATA Fitness. Anybody looking to go to Special Forces or want to get back in shape, try that out.
Hmm.
Right there.
Yeah, Randy looked like his dad.
Angela Poffo, yeah. But
Randy Orton.
Lanny looked more like their mom, I guess.
Yeah. I know, like, Randy Orton looks like, well, you can't, well, even Brooke Hogan looked like her dad. Good God.
Well,
But there's a lot of her mother in there. Her, if you look at her.
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. Oh,
What else? Who else? Randy Orton, yeah, he does, because he has that look like his pops, Cowboy Bob, the way he kind of smirks and everything, just like
Yeah.
his old man.
and
Who else?
shout out to Randy Orton because we got the same birthday.
Oh, the Aries.
Right,
Okay.
April
right.
1st.
April 1st.
And apparently I share a birthday with former UFC light heavyweight champion Vitor Belfort as well.
The Phenom.
So I have a birthday with all of them.
Oh, let's not forget how many people in WWE are veterans themselves, former servicemen.
Montez Ford is one. Former
Navy.
Marine. Former Marine is
Randy was a
Montez
Marine,
Ford.
but got let go. Was discharged unceremoniously. Ken Kennedy was also a former Marine.
Kennedy.
What's his name? Gunner from Impact. I don't know what he goes by now in WWE, but he's like the guy with heavily tattooed.
Yeah.
United States Marine Corps, Afghan and veteran.
Back in the days, Perry Saturn. Former
Perry
Army Ranger.
Saturn, Army Ranger. He had like 118 successful jumps.
Yep.
Anytime you meet somebody who's a former Ranger, that's the first question you got to ask him: how many successful jumps?
And you got to think about it. If he's still walking, it's a miracle. And shout out to Perry Saturn overcoming homelessness and drug addiction.
Oh yeah, that meth addiction. He was on meth a lot.
Because there was a woman. He actually prevented a woman from being raped in an alley by
And
two
got shot
guys.
for it.
He fought off two guys while he was shot in the back of the neck. And fought off two guys to defend this woman's life, and he thought it was just a punch to the back of the head.
Turned out to be a bullet missed his spine.
Road Dogg,
man.
you're right. Road Dogg Jesse James is a veteran of the Gulf War.
A
Lashley
Marine, just like Bobby Lashley's in the Army. In fact, Army
matter of
vet.
fact, he was.
But here's the
he
thing
was on
about
Army wrestling
Road
team.
Dogg.
Yeah, he almost went to the
Here's
Olympics.
the thing about Road Dogg. He is second or third generation Marine Corps. His father, Bullet Bob, was also in the United States Marine Corps. Who else was who else was in the armed forces? Lacey Evans.
Lacey
Lacey
Evans, former. Was she a Marine?
Marine.
Yeah,
She was also like a SWAT team leader and everything.
Don't forget Slaughter.
Huh? Who? Sergeant Slaughter? I don't know. Was he in the armed forces?
I gotta look up.
Oh wait, Craig Pittman Hughes. No, Pitbull Hughes.
Yeah, he was a Marine.
Marine sergeant. Who else was in the armed forces? Somebody else was in the armed forces. Well, Tim Kennedy was in the armed forces, but he's UFC. Who else was also in the armed forces? Oh, of course he's from a different branch of the armed forces. I think he's from a different military. Brazilian. What's his name? What's the name of that guy? He's a welterweight. Fourth degree jiu-jitsu black belt, known for his submissions. Southpaw. Fought against Anderson Silva one time, and Anderson was just like mocking him throughout the fight when he was fighting at middleweights.
I don't know his name. Is that the one that beat Silva a few years ago?
Well,
No. He fought Anderson Silva for the middleweight title, but Anderson was just like mocking him, playing him. He spent most of the match clowning him and everything, and
I know
pissed
the match.
off.
I can't think of the guy.
I'm looking it up right now.
I mean, you have What's the one guy who was a captain in the Marine Corps and he retired from mixed martial arts? Damn. I'm Brian Stan. That's his name, Brian Stan.
Okay.
You got a lot of veterans out there, man. Like, shit. Like, who else? Damn, you got a lot of veterans out there. Now, how many of y'all getting tired of the veteran talk, or should we continue?
I'm looking at the record right now. Here's the right. Damien Maya.
Oh, Damien Maya.
That was the guy I was talking.
Oh, he was from Brazil.
Yeah, Brazilian. He's a
Brazilian SWAT team member.
yeah. Trained in judo. He's a 4th-degree black belt, I think. Did you guys? No, he's now a 5th-degree black belt jiu-jitsu.
Oh yeah.
Who else are veterans? Habib's family, because his father was is a former serviceman there in the Russian armed forces. Like everybody else, like every male in the Russian Federation has to enlist because they do have national service, and they all train sambo as well. In fact, it's mandatory they learn sambo while in the Russian military.
Yeah, that's mandatory service.
Mm-hmm. It's like Krav Maga and Israeli IDF.
BMT, what's good, battle buddy? Fort Benning, huh?
Gal Gadot is a member of that.
Infantry. Gal Gadot's a veteran of the Israeli Defense Forces.
Okay.
She was a weapons sergeant.
Yeah, don't they have to join the army?
Yes.
Men and women, yeah, it's mandatory for all.
That's why
only people who are exempted are the ultra orthodox, of course. But the problem is now that their numbers are swelling, and you're seeing they're becoming a greater percentage of the population, and the birth rate is starting to go down overall in Israel. They're starting to think, we need to reconsider the ultra orthodox exemption from national service.
BMT,
but you see a lot of Israel's involved in the armed forces. Most of them join, enlist, hoping that'll give them at least a foot in the door for future opportunities in life.
That gives it. It's funny how. See, the one thing you gotta respect about Gal Gadot is that she was, from what I hear, she wasn't a pushover there. She wasn't just a pretty face. So she had to actually train people on weapon systems. And when you actually have to train people on weapon systems, that says a lot about your skill. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And that Krav Maga shit is nothing to play with. They don't mess around. What else? Who else has served in their army?
Spider Woman wasn't her fault. 84 wasn't her fault.
84, Wonder Woman? Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, Andrei Pavlovsky. He was law enforcement and he was in the Russian military.
Belarus. No, Belarus.
The Belarus military. What's up, BMT?
They get iffy about that.
What's going on? Infantry lead the way. Oh.
Hey, what's good, BMT? Been a while.
Yeah, I'm a little partial to infantry in the quartermaster corps. So I'm a little partial to them.
It's okay. It's okay. Charles has a soft spot for his brothers.
Rightfully so.
I'm like this,
now we have it where there's women and girls in there now. Maybe that was.
It's harder. I remember I don't have a problem with certain shit. I just have a problem when you're gonna dumb down the standards. Oh yeah, we forgot about the natural Randy Couture, former Army vet.
Yeah.
Sergeant. He held the rank of sergeant.
Yeah.
We do. We definitely have an issue with that, I think that was one of the biggest things when I was training, and I, some women came along, and I think one of them was like, "Oh, I've been putting a program to go into the Rangers." And I was like, "How?" She was like, "Well, why can't a woman be there?" I said, "You misunderstand me. Why do you deserve to be there?" I said, "Right now, standing behind me, I have 300 fit young men. They are competing." I said, "Understand this. The infantry, when you start out, it's a latitude and it's a pyramid um, of where you could go. It's like a video game. Like your character changes. You're infantry today, you're a driver tomorrow. Then you might be working as a gunner. Then you might be working on a ship. Then you might be doing air assault, airborne, QRF, engagement tactical team, scouting. Like our jobs change on the fly of an hour. So why do you deserve to be a ranger? A ranger is the next step of graduation into our brotherhood. Well, because they need women there. That's a shitty, piss poor reason. Of course, I got written up for that, but understand, like you didn't just because you're a woman doesn't mean you deserve to be there. Like,
The question should have been,
mhm.
are you qualified here? Did you qualify to be here?
Well, well, Charles, how often are our PT tests?
At least what, bi-yearly?
Now, now, how often do they make us PT?
If you're active, you usually got a company run like what every week or two. But usually the PT, depending on the unit, if you're in a
All right.
much more laxed unit, I won't say laxed, I'll say more white collar unit,
Yep.
you're gonna probably PT on your own, which once in a while you might, like a week or 2 weeks, they make you PT as a group or as a platoon or as a whatever. If you're like an infantry or combat arms, you're probably PTing 5 days a week.
And 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 the thing about it, that's the he gave out the lax unit guys, which those are usually the guys who go off to do the QRF. The more so, um, you don't have to tell them what to do. They're
Nope.
in a more of a main. I don't have to
E-
tell
e-
Charles
Even
to
in
go work out.
QRF, we worked out. We because you could only drive. Even in Iraq, you could only drive but so much, so you had to foot it. As a matter of fact, for my workouts, I would run a mile and a half to 2 miles to the gym, and I would run a mile and a half to 2 miles back. So so when you're in QRF, you're trusted to be in shape because they're gonna test you. They're gonna
Always
test
had
you.
to have your cardio at the beginning, at the end of your routines, huh?
Well, one because when you're supposed to come down, oh, Fedor was in the Russian military
Russian
too.
military, like everybody
Russia.
else, yeah.
He was the military
Alexander.
sambo. I think he's like a 13-time sambo world champion.
Yep.
So it's it's
Oh, that dude is
it's
scary.
it's it's funny because
Hell,
yes,
everybody,
he is
every
scary.
Russian you know, every Russian has served in the military at one time or another. Served. Most of his background is combat sambo.
It's funny because when you look at this shit, you're trusted to get yourself in shape. They stay that way, and there's always what's the word I'm looking for? A standard.
Absolutely.
And when you have a standard, and like I said, like my homegirl Danny, she was like, "Well, I'm gaining weight." You know what she did? She worked out hard for 3 months and lost that some bitch. she was that she's an airman, so she's that determined and a medic. So guess what? She has to be strong enough to pull my big ass out of the fire if I'm shot or wounded. So it depends on the unit, it depends on the level of intensity, and it depends on the individual. Am I right, BMT?
What'd you say, brother? Yeah.
I said it depends on the unit, it depends on the level of intensity for the unit, and it also depends on the individual when you see the differences in fitness.
No, it does. Like for me, I did air assault and I did special tactical team. Um, like after a while, like my squad was literally we started out with like when we got to Afghanistan, like once we had an LT, we got broken off to like probably like eight of us, four in the truck. You probably have an NCO, and I mean literally, and then you'll probably be switching off and moving and maneuvering around. Count the money. Now, when it comes to all of that, when it came to all of that, we pretty much were on self-independent stuff. I think we never really got with the platoon. We never did because we were always too busy running missions. Like I
Hmm.
probably I probably would be going on 27 hours strong.
Yeah.
I never knew what a fucking day off was. I spent 2 years away from home, and that was my family. Like
Yeah.
like Charles would have been the closest thing to a brother or an uncle.
Yeah.
Majority, like it was a camaraderie. I
It,
think
it
that's why
was.
some men when it came to
It's funny
Hollywood.
that you said that because the only time I ever had a break from QRF in Iraq was the time I had my teeth drilled and I had to sleep for a whole day because of the medications they gave me.
Yep.
And you felt like shit not going out on missions. It
Yeah,
felt weird.
I think
I can imagine.
that was awkward for me. That was awkward for me. That was awkward. I started if I wasn't on the mission, I was either working out, doing combatives, shooting at the gun range. We would have a shooting competition. Like we started doing crazy shit. Like,
Yeah.
can you shoot this bottle, that goddamn rock, but don't move the rock?
What's up,
Uh,
Jackie? What's up,
yeah,
Jackie?
yep,
Just to stay sharp and everything, huh? You got to get creative to stay sharp.
As a
yeah.
matter of fact, I'll tell you how
Stay
crazy it got.
flexible minded and shit. Hell,
I'll tell you how crazy it got for QRF. We were given AKs and MP5s to shoot as well, just in case your weapon become disabled and you had to grab an enemy
theirs.
from an enemy's weapon, and you got to know it. Like, matter of fact, I was people were giving me compliments from the Green Berets to the QRF and even
What's a
the physical
QRF?
quick reaction force or team.
Oh, okay.
And basically, when you see people attack on the MSR or in the roads, we come save them.
Hmm.
We go on missions where it's VIP security, so a high-ranking general or a senator or ambassador, we would actually
Hmm.
bodyguard them. We would do reconnaissance, like sometimes we'll park up somewhere in binoculars and jot down what the fuck's going on in the village, or if we see some insurgents doing some shit. We would also do house and building raids. Like one time we had
Yeah.
to rescue Marines in Fallujah when it took
Oh
them eight
wow.
hours to take down a block. So I've done some worthwhile shit.
Must have been wait 8 hours.
Ooh, the longest we worked. I mean,
Oh, that was a lot of it. That was intense. I'm sure that was a lot of asymmetrical warfare you guys had to deal with.
yeah, I mean it was very fluid, very fluid, very
That's,
fluid.
you know,
I would know.
there's certain things you lived out of your assault pack. Do y'all know what? And I think I'm not surprised that that's the main thing we live out of our assault packs.
Yeah, yeah.
At least you guys had one. We didn't. You know how hard it was for us? They had to tough us out, and we had to learn how to.
Hmm.
We didn't really have much to do else, but what we had mostly we had like sling bags and these cloths, and we had to learn how to endure sleeping out in the wilderness, in extreme cold and whatnot, with very little. And being our culture, they had to teach us just how to go without food and water for days and shit. Sometimes if they had us in training, they would purposely have us delay food, delay us water,
Hmm.
force us to dig deep, learn how to be in because they wanted to see how much. Because sometimes at the same time, as much as they're trying to toughen us up, they were trying to see what our mental breaking points was. We had to learn how to go on very little.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think the thing about it was, um, the thing about it is because, like I said, as the depending on the octane of of the speed of your unit, you
Mm.
start learning like I don't know what it's like to go a few days without washing and just living off a
Uh,
baby rice alone, or eating MREs. You know what I'm saying? If
try
you got
drinking unfiltered water.
listen, like that stuff right there, like, well, they teach you how to, they teach you
BMT,
how
you
to
sound
do,
distant, man.
they teach you how to do it, like a filter, a filter, a filtration system that was easy to figure out. And this is like that's why a filtration system that was something that we did. Like I think like
Mm.
some people think it's weird, but one of our guys used to carry a pot on him, carried a pot, and we would take the MRE. We could take an MRE and use the heating compound in there, boil the water, and it'd be fresh water.
Mm.
We could use that. Like you learn how to take the stuff inside, and that's the thing about it. Why I I encourage a lot of men, a lot of young boys to probably hey, start learning some survival tactics. You know what I'm saying? Like you know how to clean it. Do you know how to clean a fish? Do you know how to do certain things on how to filtration water? Do you know how to read on the moss on the trees or different stuff like that? If the power went
Mm.
out, like, are you an effective person like at those type of levels? And some people they can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to
How many people
train.
teach it? How many people learn how to read maps as well? Also learn
That's a
how to do
well that's
mental markings with their study the surroundings, know which way to go, understanding with the wind direction, read star constellations as well.
yeah that's called that for us is called land nav. We have land nav. Um, that's
Same here.
that's literally a required course at combative school for scouts, infantry. Um, you have it where Marines, I think Marines pick up on that. Certain Navy, depending on that, but they learn mostly of the oceanic type of reading.
Hmm.
Shout out to my brother and a few of them. They get good with with star maps.
Yeah,
Like
star mapping.
these are skills I don't think a lot of people take seriously. But they're like,
Hmm.
well, what the hell am I going to ever do with that? But
Also understanding like
They're
what
learning
is
now.
edible, what's not edible, because they have to learn how to if they have to like
They're learning now.
they learn the hard way. They're taking the crash course. In fact, you know how hard of a crash course it is. Ask me how, Charles.
Uh,
The instructors are Vince and Larry, the Incredible Crash Dummies, from the old, safety belt commercials from the '80s.
wow.
You didn't think I'd remember that, did you?
Wow. I'm gonna tell you one thing about it, man. It gets difficult when you getting when you in sometimes and you looking at some shit. You you better learn that land nav because
Also, don't BMT. Your cam's on. Your
I
camera.
think
that's fine.
that's cool.
Nice
Oh man.
laugh.
No, I'm fine with that. Charles will tell you I'm one of the most open camera candid people
Huh?
in the state. I don't mind being because we need to be able to show men like I think Charles you'd have liked the video yesterday. I was showing um I'm gonna do a video if you want to go do it with me.
Mhm.
Somebody asked for a request. What's the difference between a compact and a full size? And which one to carry around? So I think that'll be a fun video. If you want to do that,
Yeah.
Charles,
Yeah.
let me know.
Okay.
I'm sorry. What's he talking about?
Hmm?
Compact full size, I don't follow.
Okay. Charles, you want to start off with it, or I start off with it?
You can
Like,
start off with it because, like,
go ahead.
for I'll just say this: like Glock, for example, has a compact like a Glock 23, which is my off-duty carry.
Oh, okay.
A full size is something that you'll see like a Glock 22, which is the standard weapon for the Baltimore Police Department, which is a 40 caliber handgun or pistol.
Hmm.
It's all about concealability, or if it's for duty work, meaning you're going to have a large enough gun that can fit a large enough capacity. So,
Or you need something for concealment in certain situations. Depends on the
yeah.
situation.
Yep, that's why I like Glocks
Sometimes you
because
might
there's a
have. That's why. That's why sometimes you have to ask. Where should you have Where should you have it on you? Should you have it like on an ankle holster, back holster?
I always
Something
say
like
if you
that?
train them, if you're tactical, you probably want it on your hip.
Hmm.
If you Because you have a rifle in your hand and your rifle drapes, you want to be able to just not reach. You just want to grab it off your thigh holster.
Thigh holster,
If you're just
exactly.
a, if you're more training as a police officer,
Yeah.
most of your training's from your waist. So your thigh or your waist is not bad. Ankle holsters and stuff like that are you want to pull a gun the way you train. So if you train, you don't want to all of a sudden like in the heat of battle. Oh shit! I gotta go to my ankle. So, but
Mhm.
go ahead, BMT.
Yeah. And so what I plan on doing is I had a damn good I'm gonna send you the video. I went over. I was showcasing a Springfield XD, um, full size, um, handgun, 45. And
Mhm.
I was going over that. I think one person was like, "Hey, I don't see a safety on there," and I'm like, "Well, the first safety is always going to be your,
Keep your
the first. This is always the first safety." One person didn't get it. They were like, "Wait, no,
keep your goddamn finger out the trigger well.
you get
Yeah.
right." I'm telling you right now, I've been kicked in the head. I've been punched.
Ow.
I've
Ow.
been I've been hit in the back of my helmet. It has
Ooh.
to get beat into you about discipline with your first with it. But then they, like I said, certain guns have mechanism of how you grip it or the amount of pressure applied for
Mhm.
safety, and so that way they can tell by the squeeze. On a lot of stuff. Like I said, guns can a firearm can tell a lot of stories if you know
Hmm.
what to look for. And so when you have people who are proficient to break it down, that's why I be trying to tell Charles, man, like you need to move to the next phase of goddamn Cobra Commander base, man. Got to move to the next
Uh,
phase.
I'm trying to do it, man.
I
I'm
know,
just
I
like
know, I know.
I'm this year. I'm making the dream happen, man. I'm it's gonna be beautiful. I just matter of fact,
I,
this gonna make you laugh. Last night, well, before the stream I did last night, I actually was on the phone with some of the guys from ESI in Colorado
mhm,
about their defensive marksman course, and they said they will help me get the VA to help pay for it.
sweet.
Ooh.
And it's funny because a lot of people don't even understand what it means to be a defensive marksman. Like I could go to a lot of places within the government and say, "Hey, I know this person's coming. Do you need basically a counter sniper?" And that course is
Ooh.
21
Yeah.
days. If you can't learn to do that shit in 21 days, I don't know what for you. You're being trained by former LAPD SWAT snipers.
You
I
gotta
think
learn
that
how to spot the snipers, find the where they're
you,
at.
you're
You gotta be.
trained. Mhm.
Go
It's like
ahead.
a
Go
cat and
ahead.
mouse game.
You're trained um about what to look for, um about how to start positioning. It's a game of chess. It's a very equivalent game of chess on how if where do I need to position my people to position for if we're maneuvering this guy to from one building to a car, then where would I need to put Charles at the most effectiveness so that way he can have eagle's vantage point to see there, along with his spotter. Um, there's a whole substance of things that come into that.
Mm-hmm.
I had a really good scout attached to us. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he was a loner. It's just that he understood that hey, he pretty much he was our guardian angel. He was our
Yeah.
gatekeeper. So
No, he
he
was
stayed
the
under
and
that.
when it need to be, he was the archangel Michael bringing down furious swords from heaven.
Oh, listen, man. He's sometimes he would see stuff before our gunner did. He would sometimes see things before the gunner did. And like, but that was his job. That was his job. The most
And
precious thing he said was his eyes. That's one thing that they definitely that motherfucker played darts. I would put up $200 for you to play him in a game of billiards. Good luck, bro. Like he's killing you.
and once you
Did you
learn to
say
deal with,
billiards?
yep,
You mean pool?
yep.
Game of 8 pool? Man, it's been a while since I played a pool.
Like
I mean, you got some people who are just specialists at what they do. You got some guys who can, with their medical skills, can perform surgeries on the field in the middle of a gun battle.
like
Hmm.
Like, look at PJs. I mean, look at some of the computer techs. You got some guys who literally are some of the baddest motherfuckers underneath a computer. You got guys who are financial experts, know how to balance and budget it. Like, man,
And they know how to. And you got some of us accountants who know how to work the system and save you a few bucks when it comes to doing your taxes.
oh yeah.
And
I'm
your
just like,
financial advisors. What did they say? What did somebody said? Like when you're if you need financial advice, you need to have one, an attorney, two, an accountant, three, a financial advisor, and they have to be all
separate from
separate
each other.
individuals, kind of like the three branches of the government, always keeping an eye on one another. And if you want to do something, you got to get the green light from at least two of the three of them.
Hmm.
And if the third one has plausible doubts, then don't do it.
Hmm.
I think and that was one of the things about so I definitely want to set up a show. I'm going to set up a show for us to go over full size as well as compact.
Yep. And
I try to do
subcompact.
Mm.
right, and I try to do the show. There's not a lot of them done in this space, and though I
Yeah.
don't, there's really not a lot of them.
It's a
You know,
lot of ignorance when it comes to firearms in the black manosphere.
Oh,
there is like and this is no shot to nobody. I never understood why people they like showing off cars, women, all kind of shit. But when I as a man, I enjoy the simpler things of hey man, what kind of firearm are you got? What kind of sidearm?
Hmm.
Like how are you?
Because
What
your firearm and your taste of cigars, liquor, guns
right?
and women tell a lot about you.
You know what I'm saying? Like that
mhm.
shows a lot. Um, that shows a lot. Your mindset of that, and that's why I like that's why I'm trying to like I did the Spring Fest. Some people now they're interested in me covering the Taurus compact. I'm going to cover that. I'm going to reach out to Charles and set that up for us to go through and break that down. The difference between a compact and a full size. Some people say, well, that little gun can't do shit to you. And I said, get
Have
shot
you
with it.
guys ever seen an Israeli Falcon?
Really talking. Mm,
It's a handgun built in Israel. That shit can pack a punch.
I mean, you
yeah,
gotta look at it.
By size.
The size of it. I mean, it's not the size of the gun. It's the size of the caliber and the velocity. Like
And
Jesus
some of those
Christ.
little ass don't think that little ass gun can't do nothing because some of those little ass guns are meant for concealment.
Yeah.
Understand that.
well, yeah, and I agree. That's why, like, a nightmare for an ER surgeon is a 22.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's a nightmare. Because the minute that a 22 gets shot off in you, and that bullet bounces around inside you, tears through.
Ricochets.
So
That's why
you
they
know,
call the 5.56 the tumbler.
right?
Wow.
So you know, these are things I try to teach people like, hey man, like you want to learn about these types of things because these types of things can probably help you. You know, I saw one girl, she was at the gun range at the gun shop. I want to get a judge. I'm like, but you only weigh like 115. Yeah, but I want to put down a man. I'm like, bitch, who you gonna hit with that? Like, you ain't gonna get.
A
You got
what?
I would have gave her a shotgun and said, if you can handle this, you get anything you want.
Charles. Charles trying to set up a wet horny date. Like, he give her a shotgun to just bust her nose. Like, what the, what the goddamn, like, yeah, I don't think, like, people, it's always fun watching people how they
Where's an
handle a recoil.
RPG-7 when I need one?
Like,
The fuck do
like,
you need that for?
but see, that's the thing about it. Like, if you, like, in trying to tell
Charles,
people,
you know
like,
which armed forces I served in.
Oh,
So that yeah. So yeah,
you know,
like
always gotta have one
sometimes,
just in case. You never know, shit happens.
yeah, that's what they always say, right?
you definitely, like I said, I always try to, and I think we're gonna have a gun talk, with some people. I definitely want to talk to a woman, some female gun owners. I had that was another requested conversation. Charles that came up. What kind of firearms to buy a lady or buy a woman? Um, I always try to let them know, like, hey, uh, first of all, it's a lot. I'm gonna say me and Charles will go to the armory and talk about this behind closed doors.
Hmm.
But I feel like these are good conversations that we are not
And
capitalizing.
I think the reason why, because this also plays into a lot of things in the black community, why we have so much of a gun violent culture, is
Right,
because we don't have the respect nor we grew up with them. I understand because, once the gynocentric thought process, oh, guns are bad, they're dangerous. But if cars kill more people than guns,
Not to mention, how many issues you have with law enforcement. They always shoot a black person saying he
they
was reaching
shoot a
for
black
something,
person. So it's
claiming he's reaching
funny,
for.
but once you actually have a respect for the gun, you're less likely to use it, you know, nilly willy.
Who was it? Somebody once said this. Comic Joey Diaz, because he's ex-con and everything. He understands it, and he understands the streets. He talked about, I don't carry a gun on me because I know when you got that energy, there's a certain type of energy that comes with carrying that gun, and some people don't understand that.
Hmm.
And some people, and that's why, like you said, you got to respect the weapon. Some people don't. Oh, speaking of which, BMT, I got a question for you. BMT.
He's muted.
Anyway, Charles, are you familiar with something called NAGA?
Naga. Sounds familiar.
NAAGA, National African American Gun Association.
I've heard about it.
I wonder I wanted to ask BMT his thoughts on that group.
Oh,
Especially, like you also have
I'm not a.
thoughts on
I
what?
don't.
huh?
Thoughts on what?
I wanted to ask your thoughts on a group called NAGA, NAAGA, National African American Gun Association.
Okay. So what
What's
about?
your thoughts on them?
I don't have a problem. I feel like this.
Wait. Fuck your feelings. What's your thoughts?
I don't have a
You said
problem.
I feel. I want to know what you're thinking.
I didn't say I
What
didn't
are your
feel
thoughts
nothing.
on?
I don't have a problem.
Okay, good.
Here's the thing about it. Listen, I have different coalitions of factions that I'm with. That
Okay.
really there's no like. It's not about now. As far as when it comes to my sentiments and feelings about that, I
Hmm.
agree. We need to have more classes. We need to have more tutelage. I would like to see more men, like men like myself and Charles, uh, teach classes. Teach classes. Shit, we see enough. We need to see more of them teach classes in the urban about, hey, y'all like shooting, but y'all can't shoot for shit. Like y'all spray and pray and hit people that don't deserve to be hit. Why don't y'all actually know how to hit your damn
Damn
target?
drive-bys.
So,
Mm-hmm.
it's like being goddamn in goddamn Pakistan all over again for me.
Yeah.
Like, like teach some discipline. Like that's one of the things I did in my old hometown. I started to have a class, and I think I even had a video which got flagged by this space. I had a video of me having my kids shoot guns. It got flagged. It
Which
got
is a
flagged
damn
up.
shame because there's so many white kids who are on social media who in three gun shoots. That's when you're shooting a pistol, a shotgun, and a rifle, and they're
And most
commended
of
for
them,
it.
and a lot of them are just involved in like shit like Call of Duty. That's where they
And
get
they're
most of
co-
their training
and they're
from.
and they're conv- and no, those are the parents pay for that shit, and they're
That too.
commended as just, oh, that's just good. She's doing what she needs to do. It's pretty good for the kids. It's an outdoor activity. But when you see black children do it, oh, you're automatically stuck with a criminal label.
Hmm. I live in a small town. A lot of people are hunters, and I have to go through like strict strict qualifications just to get a hunter's license and whatnot. Or if I want to own a gun, I have to have like membership to a gun club.
To own a gun?
He's
Yeah,
in he's in a
Wow.
I'm in Norway,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay, okay. I said, what? Whoa.
so
Sorry,
yeah.
bro.
So only way I can own a gun is if I'm either a licensed hunter or I am a member of a gun club.
How
And
easy
there's a
is that?
shooting range just outside of town. So if I want to get involved in that, I have to like go through all the paperwork and everything before I can even get the
Oh,
weapon.
sorry.
But also a psych
Oh,
evaluation.
sorry
But
about that.
then again, laws were when they started setting up these laws, a lot of hunting lodges and their representatives had to deal
I'm
with
so sorry about that. Oh, no,
local.
hold on. No, it's okay.
As I was saying, you licensed hunters have to be part of a certain hunting lodge in their community. They're organized like in groups like that. And they coordinate with others in a network, but they had the representatives talking with law enforcement and with the government regarding certain setting standards and registrations for this shit.
So the gun
And that
laws are
includes
pretty
psych
strict.
evaluation. I remember, yeah, pretty strict. I remember meeting. There's this one gentleman I befriended, and he used to be a former hunter, and I asked him certain questions about what do I need to do in order to register for one. Now I cannot because of my head issues.
Hmm.
But I said so. Psych evaluations are the psych evaluation thing is the main hindrance for me. So,
Now, do you
huh?
want to own a firearm? Do you want to own a firearm?
No, no. It's not that I own in my case, I should not have a firearm in my hand unless
You know,
absolutely necessary.
he he can't own one because of
I've
how do
got
you
a I've got a
say?
personality disorder. I've got complex PTSD, a few other things,
Okay, okay.
and I
You
understand.
don't have to. You don't have to go. You
I
don't have to go into
respect the
detail.
weapon. I have respect for the weapon. It's just I know myself enough not to go for it unless absolutely necessary. Even then, you got to make sure. Even if, like, say we were in a life or death situation, Charles would have to, after all the smoke clear, have to get the gun out of my hand just to make sure, just in case I might hurt somebody or hurt myself.
Okay,
Yeah.
I, I respect
At
that.
least you
I
at
can
least
respect
you at least you realize that because I've been on scenes where the people didn't have the wherewithal.
I I just know how to turn it on, turn it off, but it's just turn it off is hard. That's the part. I mean, I have the wherewithal. Even when I did my training, I even told them stuff. Don't put a gun in my hand unless absolutely necessary, because I am always afraid I might hurt
Well,
somebody inadvertently.
I I think you can control it. I believe you can.
I
I work
know
with
it's just that just in certain
no, no,
situations I
it's
could
fine.
have
It's
like
fine,
a
brother. It's fine. Like if you, who better to know yourself than yourself? Who better to
thank
know
you,
yourself than yourself? So I don't
Yeah.
want you to
thank
think
you.
that I'm pressuring you. If
No, no.
you know, you know what I'm saying. And so,
Mhm,
um, but like I said, I'm a vet. I have my stuff. I have
mhm,
my PTSD and I have my demons. Okay.
mhm,
I think, like I
mhm,
said, I tell this to a lot of people who are gonna. I believe there are a lot of people who deal with mental health. That I come into contact. I will probably come into some of them tonight. Um, the thing about it is knowing thyself. They always tell you before you even go out to combat, you will meet with a
mhm,
chaplain with mental health. I used to always hear a lot of this ain't built on race, but I will always hear a lot of white boys before we used to go off to war and start telling me all the grander stories of their granddaddy and all the shit and all the stuff that would happen in combat and shooting and X, Y, and Z. And I would be like, okay, that's good and all.
mhm,
But then when I would see them the day before the we go off, before we ship
mhm.
out, them their granddaddies or their dads would be mentally fucked up. They wouldn't be mentally sound. They need some help. So, what I'm saying? And sometimes, listen, and I can tell right now, like, some demons follow. Some things you
True.
do, they follow. So I will always try to tell people, hey, man, sure you want that smoke? You sure you want to be the guy that keeps them before that trigger? Because it's cool when you do that on Call of Duty. It's cool when you do that on Call of Duty or
Well, you
Battlefield.
got,
Or
but it's another thing we gotta live with that bitch.
it's exactly. See,
Yeah.
you're not CJ. You're not CJ from GTA. And there's a reason why even for the criminal element they have to get high. They have to scream out something to disattach the human, like "fuck
Mhm.
you, pig" or "nigga" or some shit. There's a reason why certain things in the human psyche they have to actually cross that threshold. You know what I'm
That
saying?
disconnect. In
Right.
my case, I have like
But
because I'm prone to psychotic breaks, which is like a defense mechanism. Sometimes if I get so overwhelmed, I will have like I'll either disassociate or have a psychotic break, and I'll just disassociate like that. Or in some cases, my emotions will shut down as a defense mechanism if I know I'm going to do something that could be too traumatic.
right.
But
Like
I
I
learned how
said,
to overcome that shit. But you want to talk about like you guys lost buddies, right? You lost some friends.
I lost plenty. I've lost plenty.
We okay. I served in a different military. I'm Eritrean, like I said, and they taught us how to prepare for that. Well, not really, but they would teach us what we had to do when someone died or something like that. What we're supposed to do, proper burial, the final salute, and everything. That's
You,
why this is an Eritrea.
you know, I will say this. I'll say this. You can train as much as you want, but your training will never fully
Prepare you.
embrace you for um, the actual situation.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. My best friend, I watched him. Um, I watched him burn alive in a vehicle.
Ah.
Okay, I don't care how much training, how many goddamn half masters I've been to, how many services. My first time in theater, we lost at least 147 um, soldiers.
Oh wow.
Okay, we were getting our asses handed to us. We were getting our asses handed to us. I said we would win. We would win battles, but not without sacrifice. They could tell us whatever, like, hey man, but This is all for the greater good. And I'm like, you're not the chess pieces on the board. And so you can say, hey, well, praying for this. But after a while, when you start sitting in that DFAC, and them numbers start getting shorter, and then you start having them with an 82nd, you start having them with a third mountain and different other regiments, we just start sitting together. You know why? But after a while, our units don't really matter. But after a while, it's like, well, come on. Yeah, you
I
want
hear
to
what
still
you're saying.
with us? It's like,
Not to mention,
so
who else in the service? You have always have people who have to go pay the family a visit and give them the sad news.
I've done that only twice. I've only had to do that twice. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I still have my battle. I still have my battle Zoom. I have a Zoom. We would sometimes, depending on our mission, we would switch
Mm-hmm.
off. I would give him my iPod Classic. We had
Mm-hmm.
they were like the big gig mega gigabyte holders. Like that's where you could store like shit ton of music and videos and stuff on them damn things. That they
Uh-huh.
don't make them things anymore. And then he gave me his Zoom, and the thing about it was, like I said, had I if I hadn't stayed awake and stayed on that damn phone, I would have probably have not been. I would have been fully functional, and I would have gone on that mission. But he was like, "Hey, Joe, you didn't come to bed." I'm like, "Yeah." I know some of y'all got like come to bed. Like, no, dude, that's just how we were as overseas. Like, it was nothing
Yeah.
for Charles to see me playing on the PlayStation. Johnson, go to bed. Hmm? No, no, dude, you gotta go to bed. Like we were family. We're family. So we send each other off to bed, make sure each other go get food, pick up each other's
Yeah.
tobacco and chew. And and sometimes you saw the other guy lacking. I'll take his mission. I'll take his mission, bro. You sure? I'm not sure, but I'll get it cleared. All right, you can drive his truck.
Like, hey,
So,
hey,
when
what you
he
doing
took
over
my
there? Come here.
mission, that was the vehicle that got
Come here.
that was the vehicle
Sit
that
this
got
out. Yeah.
that was the vehicle that got destroyed
Ow.
on that mission. So um I talked to his wife.
Yeah.
I talked to his wife. I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. Um,
Survivor's guilt. Yeah, that hurt. Yeah, that really gets to you.
yeah, but she told me, like, she already told me, like, hey, everything happened for a reason. He loves
Yeah.
you, and I take care of his son like his son is mine. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Uh-huh.
like I said, yeah, that's probably one of those things. Like I said, I've lost a lot of sons, brothers, mentors. I've lost a lot. That's why I say when people say shit about military, I get very, very, very,
E-
very, very. Uh,
I can understand that. I mean, where I come from, they don't talk to us about it until it's our time to go. The veterans, like,
mhm,
because the boomers, they fought for our independence and everything where I'm from,
mhm,
even the women. And it wasn't just military. These guys were like, they were doing like, they were, they had like people with all kinds of skills, vocational, STEM, everybody. They would take them out of combat and they would put them in their fields, because once we were liberated, they need these people to be, like, rebuild the country, right? But there were certain people who had talents in the arts. They took them out and they put them in something called the Red Flower Brigade back in the day. Some of those guys after independence were gone to become successful musicians. And one of these individuals,
Hold on for a second. Pookie,
okay,
you don't have to spam your channel. Just put it in there one time, man. Go ahead.
this guy, this man in particular, he had a song, because you said, you talk about looking out for each other's kids and everything. Post independence, he had this song. It's called Harena. That's the name of a girl. Harena is the daughter of a fallen comrade of his, who was born just some time before he died. So she never knew her father. So in this song, he tells her who her father was, and there was a video of him just sitting there with the mother, who was herself a veteran, and this little girl. This girl should be like what, in her 30s by now. I remember another musician, same thing, same veteran. He had a song in which he talks about a fallen buddy of his and how he every time he goes to visit the family and he sees his son who looks just like him, just the memories just come flooding back to him. So yeah, it's deep, but everybody's looking out for their kids and such.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I mean, it's alright. It's alright, man.
no
I'll jump on.
I think like I said, like 'cause I know I got a show I'm gonna be doing. I know like huh? Yeah, I'm good, man. Give me a drink. Um,
Oh, shouts out to the family. Hello.
like I deal with my demons from time to time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
So I think the thing about it is for a lot of I mean, parts of us are still, some of us are still buried in the sand. And
uh-huh.
I always try
That's
to tell people,
understandable.
I think when it comes to this of a situation of
Mm,
camaraderie, yes, uh, do our people need help? Yes. Do they need training? Yes. Do they need discipline? Yes. I always tell this: if you don't know what you want to do with yourself, you know, you need to find a family, join the military. If you need
mm.
to go, I always hear the phrase shit. You sending them off to die. You're sending them off to get killed. All kind of crazy shit.
Yeah.
Um, I've heard that a lot.
You have no idea how big of a family that is. I mean,
It it, it,
you,
it is
I've got, I-
it
I've got
is a
a,
family thing. It is a family
I
thing.
mean,
Like
I've got a bunch of uncles. They're not even my blood relatives. These are friends of most of my actual relatives, right? They're buddies in the service and whatnot. But I'm told that's my uncle and everything. So I always go to them whenever I need some advice or whatnot. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And they're just like, "Hey, son, what's going on? How you been?" And their kids are my cousins, no matter what. So I got to look out for them, no matter what. So I understand. B, you okay?
for me,
Yeah, you alright?
yeah. I'm alright. I'm alright. You know,
Okay. No, 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 no. If this is too touch, if it's too deep, we can stop.
no, you're fine. Listen, if it got to that, I would stop. If it got to that, I would stop. I can tell you right
All
now
right.
where I am today versus where I was years. This league's different. Um,
Okay.
I have a better in depth. What grade you in? I have a better in depth um uh grasp.
Insights.
No, like I would say, oh, I have insight, but I have more of a grasp of my motivation of where, like, because the thing about it is, some men they go over there and they're questioning the perception of reality,
Mm,
and life starts to change, and you got to find that purpose. Like I said,
oh yeah.
I wish, I honestly wish the government would make it to where you had to put in some type of time in, whether it be Peace Corps or military. That would, and if you did that, it would they would pay for your school and your health care. You'll have a place to
Mm,
stay. You'll have 3 meals in a cot, and you also pick up a skill. I wish that that was a mandatory thing. I know some people don't like to hear that, but I think that probably be the best thing. I don't have a problem with some countries that do that to their civilians. They like, hey, you're gonna have to
mm.
I want my child or my person to participate in, and be a citizen and have that respect. And to be all man, like, no, y'all are servants. Um, y'all should just have them where they only do welcome baby. Like I teach my kids, I try to teach them that they understand that they need to know. Um, I understand, yeah. To be fair, I'm gonna just tell y'all right now. Only what? How much Charles? What? 10% or less than that is actually in combat.
Yeah.
Really, like there's not really. I'm being
Eighty
honest.
percent, 80% of the military, 80 to 85% is combat support.
All
You,
them
and you
games
guys need
and
a
all the
whole
other
lot of
shit.
support. It's not just on the battlefield. We're also talking about people like in the second, people in like in non-combat situations. You guys need a separate, hospital administration and banking system like that. Also, support, cybersecurity, um, logistics. Oh man, logistics. Oh, but, speaking of which, shouts out to Bruce Almighty. You know, I mean, Bruce. What was Bruce in? Charles, what was Bruce in?
Army.
Wait, no, no. What was his? What was he doing exactly? Transporting shit, wasn't it?
He was the signal. He was the radio guy.
All right, yeah.
Radio.
Telecommunications, everything.
You live and die by the radio guy, boy.
Oh yeah. You know.
The radio not working. You don't get the evacs. You don't get the fire support, the air support,
Food, food,
food,
resources,
supplies,
supplies. You gotta have
backup,
that. You gotta have
reinforcements.
communication. Intel,
Yeah, I got to talk to my
Intel.
counselor about this
intel,
because there's.
intel will keep you alive way ahead of
Oh
time.
yes, yes, right there, Intel. Because you talk about like you need like staff officers. You also need intelligence officers. You got need people like involved in communications, knowing how to scramble or the other side's signals, or try to tap into their signals, try to locate things. You know, it's so much. There's so much. I mean, what is it they say? An army marches on its stomach. All right,
Oh yeah.
fam.
Oh yeah. The army marches on its stomach, man, and people don't realize it. All right, see you, BMT. Thanks for coming up.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
A lot of times we don't realize how much we're blessed to have people here with all this goddamn experience.
You know, people always talk about how cool it is to play Call of Duty and shit like that. But I'm saying, guys, have you ever played like Wolfenstein, or even better, has anybody ever played Age of Empires, real-time strategy games like that? Because you
Yep.
got to learn
Some,
logistics. That teaches
sometimes
you
it takes a whole
logistics,
sometimes it takes you a whole
strategy.
day to fucking finish those games.
Oh man, I loved Age of Empires, especially the sequences and games like because I remember there was a Star Wars equivalent to that once. But yeah, you have to learn managing resources,
Yeah.
developing arms technology of your forces, not just your military, but also your non-combative like civil
Yeah.
ill technologies, because you need to have a very advanced, well organized, well efficient society.
Don't tell people that, man. They think the society runs on its own beautifully.
No, 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 it doesn't. I mean, I've seen how some of it fell apart. I mean, you ever
Until
seen
the
like certain services start to lose, basic services when they stop working efficiently, people start to lose their shit. But you also need a
it's
good, but you can't be a dictatorship because then shit gets out of control. I mean, that's why you need to have an actual society that voices its opinions. I remember, was it like on DeAndre's shit? We were talking about this, like when they were talking to me because they came across somebody of my ilk who was talking shit, and dereliction of duty. But when
It's
shit
one
gets
thing.
ugly, you can't.
One thing about this channel here, we don't believe in dereliction of duty. We don't believe in you spilling out your guts aimlessly, but we don't believe in dereliction of duty.
I'll tell you the truth. When it was my time to go, I hated it, but I'm glad I hated it,
Hmm.
and I'm glad I went through it.
Let me go through war and let my children live through peace. A lot of people can't
That's why
say
I
that.
always ask, how fucked up is it gonna be for me? I mean, because it's not just enough to deal with the scars, physical scars. You got the emotional, mental scars you got to deal with, because those
Hmm.
scars also tell what kind. And some people need to embrace those because it tells you how
Remember,
much you endured.
it's like what I put up today in my community chat. A Batman taking off the cowl and he's looking at all the scratches on his back
Oh yeah.
from all the years of being Batman. See, scars
Shit.
don't actually
Have you
tell
ever seen
you.
the Daredevil movie? You remember the one with Ben Affleck? You look at all the scars that was on his back.
Hmm. Remember,
But and as you were saying,
scars don't tell you just how much you survive. It also tell you how much you healed.
oh yeah,
And physical and mental, I've had a lot. I've healed a lot, but shit, I went through a lot.
chicks dig scars.
Chicks dig scars, and so do they. Also dig crazy too. Shoot, I'm a shut down. Spent 2 hours in a corner. We still had a great program for everybody. Hopefully, we entertained you during the midday madness. Any last words, Namer?
I just got to say, Nature Boy Ric Flair. You and I, we're not ever gonna be friends. I know that. No, no. But you think you styling in profile, but all you are is showing me who you really are. And then somebody I just don't like at all. No, no. But sooner or later, we're gonna do the dance, brother. And when we do, you will understand the meaning of macho madness. Oh yeah, dig
Wow, Macho Man.
it.
You gotta do what you can. But Elizabeth's gonna tell you who's really the one long man. Whoa! And we out.
Later.
Later, folks. And shout out to Cameron for the super chat. Woo! We out.